So here's the reality of feminism. In the UK, women do not go to prison when they stab men in the face or cut them with a broken bottle. And before you bitch about, oh, it's the Daily Mail, Google the names in the article and it comes up on a lot of different sources. The Daily Mail is just very aesthetic in the way they set the format up. But here's the headline. Drunk businesswoman, 39, who glassed a pub drinker after he wrongly guessed she was 43, is spared jail after female judge says one person's banter may be insulting to others. Now, to Americans, glassed means stabbing someone in the face with a glass or a bottle. So let's get to the article. And by the way, this happens in the UK all the time because it's literally the law that women are treated more leniently. Women can stab men in the face and not go to prison just because they're women, and that's the law. Anyway, let's get to it. Mother of one, Joanne Dodd, 39, flew into a rage and attacked Carl Cooper after he suggested she was 43 in the beer garden of a Unicorn pub in Manchester city centre on September 9th last year. Mr. Cooper fled to the toilet in a bid to get away from the heated situation, but when he came out, Dodd ran towards him and twice shoved her wine glass in his face. He was left with a 4-inch laceration to his face, narrowly missing one eye, and an injury to his thumb. Now let's break that down. He ran away to hide in the bathroom, so she was already being threatening. But then she waited and she premeditated the attack. It wasn't a heat of the moment kind of thing, which still wouldn't be excusable, but she waited for him to plan the assault. That is premeditated stabbing someone in the face. Okay? Even if it's a glass, maybe it's not the same as a knife, but that's still stabbing. That's cutting someone's face with a sharpened object. But just listen to what the judge said. At Manchester Crown Court, Dodd, who was from Swinton and Salford, faced up to 3 years in jail under sentencing guidelines after she admitted inflicting grievous bodily harm. However, she was spared jail and handed a suspended sentence after Judge Elizabeth Nichols said she was a dedicated, hard-working woman who posed no risk to the public. What? And then her comment about the victim. It was no doubt traumatic for Mr. Cooper, and it would have an impact on him. Fortunately, he seems to have made a good recovery. I have seen the photo where the scar is barely noticeable, but to him, it'll be a constant reminder of your conduct on that night. There was a very unpleasant injury. It is a grave injury, but fortunately, there is no permanent disfigurement. Oh, that's fine then. That makes it just fine. And then she seems to make a big point about her being a woman. The judge added, there is no mitigation about the circumstance of the offense itself, but there is a mitigation in relation to you. You are a woman with no previous convictions. You have never been in a court of law before, and you have positive good character. Yeah, I can tell. It is accepted that you are a dedicated, hardworking woman, there it is again, and undoubtedly a loving mother. It is right that you were remorseful from the beginning of the events at the police station. There is no doubt that this offense is so serious that it crosses the custody threshold. The issue is whether the sentence is immediate or can be suspended. There is no doubt in this case that you are of no risk to the public and that this offense was entirely out of character. And I suspect that having been so shaken by your own conduct, the court will never see you again. Really? So if a man stabs a woman in the face, that's okay. You're a good guy. You're cool. You can go home. Like, for real? So yes, this happens all the time. Just Google it. And yes, I do blame feminists. Why do I blame feminists? Because they actively advocate for this. This is the actual law in the UK. This is the actual sentencing guideline in the UK. It is systemic, blatant sexism. Women can stab men in the face and not go to jail just because she's a woman. That is crazy. So I hopped on chat, and this is what I got. For mid-level assault, like actual bodily harm, which many glassing incidents fall under, men are sent to prison 42% of the time. Women are sent to prison only 15% of the time. So when a woman commits a violent crime, a violent assault, there's an 85% chance that she does not go to prison. And this is the government's policy. In 2018, the Ministry of Justice published the Female Offender Strategy, which sets out the department's vision and plan to improve outcomes for women in the community in custody. In other words, to make it so women can stab men and stab other women and not go to jail. That's fucking insane and scary.